and welcome to Jokes with Mark Simmons, the podcast where I chat to another comedian about jokes they can't get to work. As always, I am joined in the podcast studio by the one and only Mr. Danny Ward.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Danny. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Excellent. And we've got a guest in the house, so we're going to bring the guest straight into the conversation. Please welcome Tadiwa Mahlunge. So let's get straight cracking with the podcast. What you got? I'm impressed. You got legal pad. Yellow legal pad?
I'm an organised boy. Jerry Seinfeld only writes blue pen, yellow paper.
Is this why you've done it?
That's why.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm such a virgin.
That's so funny. That's brilliant. So are these notes you just made for this pod, or is this how you always
do it? So I structure my preview sets. So that's like one piece of paper, otherwise it's sprawling.
So both sides of the paper.
Yeah, I'm going off the back of some jokes from the most recent preview that did not work and it upsets me. And also some jokes that just generally don't work and I kind of want to blow my brains out because I enjoy them very much. And
right.
The worst thing for me is when you write a joke and then you go, this is going to be gold. Those always suck.
Yeah.
Fucking hate it.
Have you got one of those?
I've got a couple.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just set the scene about your preview. Is there a particular theme? Is it for Edinburgh this year?
It's for Edinburgh this year. I want. It's very un-British, my personality, but I want titles, bro. I want titles. I want
championship.
Gold. I want championship. I am fucking Ferguson. I want to win things, and so I'm being very, very anal about going after the previews. But like, I've hit that point now. It's like I've done like 24 last year, so it's like I'm fucking sick of my own show. And we're not
so this
halfway.
is your debut.
Yeah.
Okay. So, right. So you're at the point where you've done it a lot.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Cool. And so that's good though because you've got plenty of stuff that you
a fair bit. Like I've got about 20 or so more previews booked in right now for this year.
Bloody, I love it.
Yeah, got to be done. Got to be leaving nothing to chance.
Yeah.
If I don't get what I want, it's racism.
And
anyway,
how much have you got material wise at the moment, time wise?
Material that I could do to close a curb gig 30.
Right.
Like,
yeah. So you
want
want
consistent quality 30.
So you want 50 of that.
I want 50 of that.
Yeah, nice.
Which is that's just what I'm like. But I've had 20. I've had previews where a half an hour of it, I'm just like through sheer being a nice person, they're in the room like, all right, keep going.
Right.
You get them one bit, lose them, get them, lose them.
Yeah.
But I've had the worst one was like I had one preview where I had like 49 minutes of consistent laughter, and it was amazing, and it was fucking fireworks, and it never happened again. It was such a bummer. For some reason, there was one Polish lady in her late 40s, and she was fucking amazing. Like she was the smartest, most giving, but she just liked all the good shit. She was silent for the dumb shit. She was so amazing, and she's never been there again.
Oh no, you need to kidnap her.
And I have to. I need to. There's a plan. But you know that person who laughs,
She'd
who
love
carries the
Edinburgh.
room?
She'd love Edinburgh.
She would.
It would be costly to take someone up there and pay for their accommodation for the month.
That is correct, actually. Yeah. But is it worth it? Is it worth it? How good was she? Was she worth paying double accommodation?
The thing is, she actually was. I would gladly put her up.
If she adds a few applause breaks in, it's
Oh
a
my
sealed
god!
deal.
Oh, can you imagine? Do you know what? That's the saddest part. Yeah, fuck it. I'll say this. And I had a moment. I was thinking of throwing like 100 quid out into the audience at the top of the show, just like a hard flex, like bow. And then I was like, how much would that cost? And I realized that's not that bad actually. That's like less than
It would
most
be
PR.
2,800 across the run in Edinburgh.
And I believe
cheaper than PR.
Yeah,
That's why it says cheaper than
but
PR.
I believe you should have it dangling during the show, and you only give it to them if they've been a good audience. Because if you give it to them up the top, they've got their money.
They got their money back.
Yeah, I think.
What you're suggesting is almost like the free fringe.
And what we're also suggesting
afterwards
is they're all getting a refund instantly. Essentially, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
They've all paid to come in,
Rather-
and here's your money back. Just go free fringe, mate.
No, but it's the gimmick. It's the gimmick of it. It's like this guy. Will just
Imagine if you did free fringe and you paid people on the way out to come in.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Just recruiting 20-year-olds by the fucking dozen.
So funny.
All the people that the Pleasants aren't paying.
Maybe this is the new thing. Like when the free fringe like took off, that was a massive big deal. Maybe this is the new model.
Yeah. The Mahlunge model.
We should set this up, Mark. Breakaway faction.
Right, let's get into the gags. What you
Joke
got?
one.
So this joke is about my old therapist that I got. I'm sorry that I might have to do certain parts of it just to contextualize it.
It's a joke from your therapist.
No, it's a joke about my old therapist.
Yeah.
She was like, so basically, I had anxiety growing up a lot, and especially like fear of talking to girls because I had a bad, weird shit happen. We're not going to get into all that.
Different
that,
podcast.
that sounds. This is the worst thing.
Now
about,
everyone's thinking that. We'll
this
cut
is
that.
the
We'll cut
worst
that.
thing about
We'll
the
snip
year.
that. We'll snip that.
This is the worst thing about where we are in time now is that if you say bad, weird shit happened, people assume you killed 3 people.
Yeah.
They assume you have bodies. All that happened was I got rejected a lot. And one time I sang to a girl. I sang
like
Bruno
this.
Mars's Just the Way You Are.
Oh, this
I
is-
was told that it would just be me and the girl because she was
Oh.
super popular, but 100 people showed up. Yeah, it's not a joke.
But you still went through with the gig.
I still went through with it because a gig is a gig, bro. I'm a fucking pro.
Got to put your time in. Did you do any previews before?
I did 48 reviews.
And he gave her 100 quid.
Which Bruno Mars song
Just
is
the
it?
way you are.
Oh, it's a lovely song.
It's
I
a
thought that was by
lovely
Barry
song.
White.
Do
Shows
you know
what I
what's
know.
terrible? There were so many people there that it was so loud for the murmur. I couldn't. She was stood like as far.
So where
away
was
from-
this? Where was
Yeah.
this?
This is a stairwell leading up to the science building.
Oh.
Yeah. And her friend.
This reminds me of something. Okay, yeah.
Her friend said, blah, 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 blah. And like, anyway, like she was so like,
Did she know you were going to sing the song?
yeah.
Was it a cappella?
It was a cappella.
And can you sing?
By the way, I had a beautiful voice.
Could
growing
you
up.
do us a chorus or a
I
verse?
would rather kill myself.
Because you've
fair
got
enough.
your voice is obviously broken.
Yeah.
Was
But when I
has
was
that
a
been an issue with your voice?
When I was a child, I was the lead soloist for the Cardiff Metropolitan Choir. I was very, very good.
Oh,
singer.
wow.
Yeah,
There we go.
Apart from that, yeah, she said, even if you sing to me, I still won't go out with you. But I didn't hear it. So
tough
how
crowd.
crazy must I have looked to just start singing after she said that? Because it was so loud. I couldn't.
Wow, and everyone was there,
Yeah.
and so this is the thing that you've been anxious about since.
Yeah, well, because
Yeah.
of shit like that.
And
just
what
in-
happened? Like, did you
Well,
delivered?
this is the thing. I was supposed to get bullied, but the older boys in years above, because I did this in like year 9, the older boys were like, I wouldn't have done that. That took balls.
Yeah.
So when the boys in my year tried to start bullying me, the older boys stood up for me, and it kind of dissipated like that.
Ah, wow.
So, like, I
feel like this is a movie.
Right?
It's quite a nice
I was
story, isn't it?
supposed to have the worst. I was supposed to be, a school shooter, but like it all kind of worked out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah,
have you
yeah.
ever spoken about that on stage?
I tried the story so many times, but it's just not funny enough.
It's one of those things that it almost sounds made up.
Yeah.
That you'd. But,
Also,
but
do
if
you know
you
what
could
does
sing,
sound-
but if you could sing now, you could break into it at the end of the show. Because you could talk about, I don't know, yeah, you could use it as like a callback. But if your voice is,
Well, I mean, my voice is fine. It's just not what it used to be.
Yeah.
It's like Ronaldo and for playing for Inter Milan.
wow, that's where did the idea come from?
The girl's friend.
Right.
She was like, "You're a great singer. You should sing to Beth." Basically, that's basically
Right.
what Ella said in
have,
form.
have I ever told you about the first time I ever kissed a girl at school?
No,
Have I ever
tell me,
told
please.
you?
I don't
This
think
really
so.
reminds me. I was terrible,
Yeah.
and as in not kissing, but I didn't know. I'd never done it before. And did this happen at your schools? It sounds like it did with you. With all the kids found out something's going to happen, so they all turn up.
Yeah, that happened.
But this girl from my class, who's like was considered like fit,
Yeah.
compared to like I had zero action at all in that sense. Just that she just someone said, "Oh yeah, she really likes you." It's like, what? We've never spoken, like literally never spoken. But and then we arranged that the first kiss, like still hadn't spoken to her.
That's
First
hilarious.
kiss was going to be in one of the classrooms on the break,
That's hilarious.
and I was so scared. And when I turned up, everyone was there.
Oh my
Literally,
God.
everyone was there to watch my first kiss. And then it was in the winter. I had a jacket on. I remember the jacket. It's an Adidas jacket, right? And I was so shy and nervous. You know the what do you call these bits that at the top of the zip and then the flaps.
Top of the zip. I don't know where this is going.
No, not the jeans. The jacket.
I've got some genuine
The
safeguarding
jacket.
issues surrounding this story, Mark.
So no, there's nothing. No. It's just embarrassing for me. So I sort of sunk my head down because I was so shy, but hit like this, but so that the
Collar?
the collar,
Yeah.
the collar. See, I'm so
that was-
anxious going back. So the collar's there, and then when we kissed, some of the collar was in the way, and
Oh
she was
my
the
God.
it was
Was everyone just looking?
yeah. It was.
Ken,
That's-
mate.
I
Ken.
can
Isn't
see why you're a
that-
comic. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the beginning of it.
You know what? I haven't really thought back about that, but that
Yeah.
was horrendous.
Yeah.
Some unprocessed trauma
I
coming
think
out here.
I must have been. I would have been year 8.
Yeah.
At
My
school.
first kiss was when I was 19. I was at a house party.
My second was 19.
Wow. Take
Your
big
first
price.
kiss was at 19.
Yeah, first kiss was at 19. It was
Oh,
a house
wow.
party. I took coke for the first time.
It's quite funny how I just made the joke that it was 19, but that actually was yours.
Yeah.
So I feel really bad now.
You were kidding. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself.
Anyway, about
That
that,
was genuinely
about that coke.
Yeah, first of 3 times. It's just not my drug, bro. But like, yeah. We had it, and I don't know how this ended up happening, but I was in a room. I remember the door was locked, and the girl went to kiss me, and then she looked at me, and then she looked over at the bed, and she looked back at me, and I was like, I think I'm going to go find my friends. And I had to unlock a door to not lose my virginity that night.
Oh, wow. That's so funny.
Fucking
so
pathetic.
we haven't even done your first joke yet.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Sorry, we get sidetracked, but we're trying to
Yeah.
we're trying to actively be more streamlined. So what's
This
the
is
first?
called-
what's
this
the
is
We're
called-
first
halfway
joke?
through.
I had a therapist, and because all I would do is just whenever a girl was remotely nice to me, I just fall in love with her, and so yeah, it was fucking pathetic. And so
We've all been there, mate.
I got a therapist, and then I fell in love with my therapist, and she was like 42, and I was like 21, I think, at the time.
Right.
Yeah, this was when I stopped my first job. This was my second job, the one at the hedge fund. Yeah, so like, it's like it's hard to argue you don't have mummy issues at that point, like when you're in love with your fucking 42-year-old therapist. And she wasn't like a sexy porn therapist. Like, this was an old lady, which like gets a reaction from the middle-aged
really?
women in the.
Oh, what happens? What's the reaction?
It gets a reaction from the middle-aged women in the room.
In what
When
way?
I,
What-
when I
what
say
is the reaction?
42 is old.
He said old lady.
Okay.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's an unnecessary thing. But yeah. So, then there's funny stuff in the middle, and then the part that is not working is what's it called? It's hard. A therapist is a hard person to fuck. Like you got to be slick with your words, because like they can see through you like a fucking therapist.
They know everything.
I know exactly what you're going for. It's like I thought. Like week after week, she'd be like, "So Tad, how do you feel?" And I'd be like, "Well, sometimes I feel like I give women too many orgasms."
I get it.
How does that make you feel? Uncomfortable, it turns out.
So how does that go? Does that work?
that part works.
Yeah,
the part
cool.
that
I would-
stops working.
I would have been
and
surprised
I
if it
go into the
didn't.
Google Doc for this because I kind of unlearned it.
Right, here we are. We're at the point.
What's that?
Only
This
physical
is it.
contact. Yeah. The only physical contact we ever had is like she'd shake my hand at the start of each session, and after I leave the session, it would take all of my power to not just sit by the bin sniffing my hand until the perfume wore off. Like I went in with anxiety, I left with a fetish, basically.
Right, yeah.
It was like £80 a week I was paying for this. It was the most expensive OnlyFans subscription I'd ever had in all my days. Also, the thing the therapist did that turned me on the most is that she wouldn't touch me. Like it was like we were edging. You know what I mean? It was like really hot. It was like foreplay.
What's edging mean?
Edging. Oh no, that's like when-
Everything but, isn't it?
no,
or
that's
no.
like taking you to the point of orgasm, but never letting you come. So that, and you do that like for an
Wow,
hour
I
or
learned
two.
so much from this podcast. What did we learn the other day? Someone told us all the different. Joe, yeah. Anyway, right.
She just
Okay.
turned me on and then
Edging.
loosed me on society like a rabid dog. Like when I see a man masturbating on the underground, a woman will go, "He needs therapy." I'm like, "He's just been."
That's a good line, right?
But it never got a laugh.
Well, that's quite a long bit. If
Yeah.
none of that works, that's a quite long bit to get to that laugh.
That's the thing.
Can you not streamline that?
I took parts out to try and get to the he's
Yeah.
already been part.
Yeah, that should, to me, that's the end of that routine, right?
Well, the end of the routine.
You don't have to tell us the end.
Is that
If you don't want to give it away, it's up to you.
No, it's fine. It's that what's it called? The end of the routine is I have a new therapist now, Dave. And I don't know. There's just something about him. He just
Yeah, okay.
I like him when he listens,
And that works.
That works. What doesn't work again is I would text my therapist for a while after I stopped seeing her. And it was like, cute shit. You'd send an ex-girlfriend, like, if you don't pick up the phone, I'll kill myself. Cute shit like that.
That didn't work. That doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
That's just that's just saying you kill yourself on stage. It's people just, sometimes people don't like that.
I don't know why.
But we get it's where in the set show does this come? If it's early.
This is like a fucking 20 minutes in. I
Yeah,
think
so maybe it's too
I
early,
do
yeah.
the club 20 at the top. And
Right.
then I
then
go
do
into
this.
the
Sorry.
I was going to say, is it potentially that there's a sort of a gear shift that from the club stuff to something more personal that maybe
If this is the bit that goes into.
Well, I think the club stuff is is fairly personal
as well? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
I
yeah.
really don't. I really don't withhold.
Yeah. But with the only. So you said quite a few things in a row there.
Yeah.
Do you rush it because you're not confident in it now?
Yeah.
That's another good.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Because there was lots of points I was thinking, like the OnlyFans thing. There's definitely something in.
There's something
this is
in
the
there.
the worst OnlyFans. Like because the fact that you're paying £80 and how much do you pay for your OnlyFans?
I pay $9.99 a month. What's OnlyFans?
Genuinely
That's
good.
just
that's
for
that's
one-
my
that's
OnlyFans.
just for one person.
That's just my
That's
personal
just for
one.
marketing,
I just send him some texts every so often. And he's got to set up a standing order. And 2. What's the next one?
Okay, so this one's a little.
I think we solved that. Job done. Well done, everyone.
No, I think with that last
Mate,
one,
you are nominated. No questions asked now.
I think with that last one, it's that sort of, I reckon, pick your points. Maybe don't just
Yeah.
cram too much in that section. And I'd say pick one point, try it in that section, and then I reckon, and if it doesn't work, do the try a
And
different
it's
bit.
also a really good point that if you don't have enough confidence in a piece, you don't sell it with the conviction, and then the audience almost smell that lack of conviction in yourself,
But
don't
I
they?
think trying to find a way to, first thing I think is go for the bit that works into that final line. Just see if you can literally just set that up in one line about you, about her, you being all het up when you leave.
Yeah.
And then
I
maybe
think
just
so.
get that nailed, and then once that's working, then maybe try and sneak the other bits in. I reckon.
I think so.
'Cause I think that's a good. It just feels like a very satisfying. No, he's just been.
He's just being
Really?
That's what I like. That was one of those where I was on the DLR from Stratford to Stratford International, and there was just that hit of like, when you after a gig 10:30, bang, you come up with a line while you're writing, and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck yes.
That's
How
one
did
of
I come
those.
up with a line this good while I'm drunk?
So with that line of the no, he's just been.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, do you think maybe it's because it's literally straight off the back of the setup, so that the audience almost know? No, I disagree with what I was just going to say. Then I think that should work. I don't
I
understand.
think that would work.
I think we should number 2.
And 2.
And 2. So
So funny because I haven't quite nailed the streamline. I did it too early a minute ago. Yeah, that's okay. And 2.
So this is a shorty one. So my girlfriend, she has ADHD, which is great because she's smart. Two reasons. So like basically, she'll tell me a story, and then she'll forget she told me the story, and then she'll tell me the same story again. I don't know if you're like me, and whenever you would have a conversation with someone, you're like, I wish I said that. I wish I said that. I get 2 goes. And so she's always like, oh, you're so funny. I'm like, oh, this has been edited heavily. And she just doesn't know.
So you can. Oh wow, so is that? How's that going? There's a bit.
Not what
The concept. The concept's there.
is there, but it needs some kind of a punch there. I just can't think of one.
Yeah. Have you got actual examples of?
Well, I don't have an example of like a story, but the next joke might be useful in that regard. In that, like, so one time, my girlfriend this is very early on, so it's like a joke about how, like, early on in the relationship, you can't call each other out on your shit because you're still a stranger, you know.
Yeah.
So she was over mine. She was looking for her earrings. She was over mine, and she was looking for her earrings, and she was rooting around under the bed, and she was like, "Is that a flashlight?" And then
A fleshlight.
I'll explain for
fleshlight.
Mark what that is.
No, I do know what
Oh,
it is,
you do,
actually.
right.
Yeah, I
What it
looked in
is.
your drawer earlier.
For those of you who don't know what a flashlight is, paid advert time. I really want to be known as
We
the
should. We
flashlight
do need to
comedian.
say what it is, don't we? Because otherwise,
It's a vagina in a cup.
Yeah, it's like a dildo, but for men.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, dildo men can use dildos, so
Yeah.
you can't. That's
But
not
it's
a dildo for men.
it's
It's
ostensibly it's torch shaped.
Torch shaped.
Yeah.
And you stick your thing in,
Yeah.
and it sorts it out. Apparently,
It sorts it out.
does the business. Is that the best way to
You'll be edging like a good un, Mark.
use promo code Jokes with Mark?
Believe me, these things are so good you'll be unable to edge. Quite frankly, like you're one and done.
Have you used one, Danny? No. You
No?
haven't? But I'm intrigued.
I have had several, but that's neither here nor there. They're great, and I make enough to buy what I want.
Number 3.
Okay,
And 3.
this one is about my grandparents.
Oh God.
So I love them a lot. Blah 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 blah. So one thing. So because they're like you know very very traditional, and they want me to get married, I do a joke about that. And then so I had a dry spell for about 22 years, and they weren't fans of that. And so one thing my grandmother would do, and this is not a joke, she'd pray for me to get laid, like in front of people, and because we have family prayers. You know, which
How did they know you hadn't been laid?
they just knew. They just fucking knew.
Yeah.
They just smelt it on me. They just, not this guy. There's a time when my walk changed. I had a bit more swag. And I'm like,
That is quite funny if
Yeah.
you're doing it and maybe you're saying, "How do you even know?" And they
Yeah.
just went, "We know,
I mean,
we know." It's obvious.
maybe I should put that in. But yeah, what's it? So one time, my grandmother, I think I was like 21 or 22, and we were praying, and she was like, "Please, Jesus, help him to find a woman, any woman." And that was the punchline for me. Was her going,
Any woman.
any fucking woman.
Yeah.
That never gets a laugh. And then she goes, I do not care if she is white or brown or Hindu, Chinese. I do not care. So I'm so bad at getting laid that my nan is no longer racist.
Oh, that's nice. Does that work?
That worked at Monday Club. And it worked at another. I think it worked at Camden as well.
Yeah.
A very comedy literate crowd.
So that's coming from
And
not
then-
you haven't spoken about her at all before. So
I talk about her being racist earlier.
okay.
Yeah.
So that to me that's what
should
I was going
work.
to say is that I felt like that needed something before. Like, is there a way to sort of put across? I think this is how we cure racism. Or,
That was
or
the thing I
something, as
said.
a bigger. You put it as a bigger.
So I did two versions of the tag. One tag was like, if you want your parents to stop voting UKIP, just hold out.
Right. There we go. Well,
that's
that
great.
is the end
Oh, I
of
had
the
one more.
episode.
Oh,
Mate,
that is,
you
yeah.
can come back. You can come back. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
come back. We're streamlining. That was.
If you keep saying streamlining, it's not the same as streamlining, is it?
But the trouble is, the more I say streamlining, the less streamlining we're doing.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming in. Is there anything you want to tell people about? So
Yes.
when you're in Edinburgh, come see you in Edinburgh.
When would this even go out?
In the next
Your
month.
guess is as good as ours, mate.
In the next month, I'd
In the
say.
next month. Well, if it goes out in January, which it probably won't, I'm doing a Vault Festival, which happens in Waterloo in London, if you exist in London.
Yeah.
I'm there on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of January.
Excellent.
If you exist in Leicester, I'm there on February 19th doing the Leicester Comedy Festival.
Yes.
I'm back at Vault Festival for February 28th.
It's a long
and,
festival.
The 1st of March. And I'll be doing Glasgow International Comedy Festival on the 21st and 22nd of March.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I've heard it's hard to break into the Vault Festival.
Oh, god damn.
Yes, and you find tickets on your social media.
On my social media, Tadiwa Mahlunge, however you want to say it.
I'm exhausted.
And we're going on tour, back on tour,
Yeah.
second leg of the tour, from beginning of May through to July. So tickets available, marksimmons.co.uk, or on my social media at Jokes with Mark, and follow Danny at
Danny Ward, comedian.
There we go. Thank you very much, everybody. Anything more from you, Danny?
Nothing more from me, Mark. Anything more from you, Mark?
Nothing more from me, Danny. #Awooga, everybody.